when I catch on, they're done. See, their need to feel safe has them playing the game of life timid. But you can't win succumbing to fear. To be the best version of you requires boldly attacking the things that scare you. I remember a while ago, before my book took off and before the speaking took off, I was out to dinner with my family, and we were all gathered around the table, and I was talking about what I wanted to do, my dream, my vision, what I wanted to accomplish with my life. And I could tell by the look on their face, the look in their eyes, they didn't believe me. They just didn't get it. I really wanted that validation. I wanted somebody to look at me and say, I believe in you. But that's the way it's always been in my life. See, when you dream big, it's like you speak a different language. The common man, the average person will not understand a person who is dreaming on the next level. I got so mad inside, I couldn't wait to get back home. See, I just got this big 6-foot dry erase board on my wall, and I had set my goals big, I thought. Until I had that conversation with my family that did not understand who they were sitting across the table from. And when I got home, I ran straight up to my office. I grabbed that eraser and I wiped my dry erase board clean. All the goals that I had dreamed before, I wiped them off. And then I started writing bigger goals, bigger dreams, bigger ambitions. See, if they're not gonna understand me, then it doesn't really matter how big I dream. They're not gonna understand me anyway, so if I'm gonna dream, I might as well dream to the max. Most of the important things in the world have been accomplished by people who have kept on trying when there seemed to be no hope at all. Now, perseverance transforms average, everyday people into world champions. So the key to victory, the key to success is never giving up. You see, the more difficult your obstacles are to overcome, the more you must keep your reasons for succeeding in front of you. When life hits you with that brick and you get knocked down on that mat, and I'm talking to the Linda Rouseys of the world, the ones that have been knocked down once and twice, and everybody out there is calling you a failure, everybody out there saying it's over, what are you gonna do? Rise, champion. I don't even think they should be able to call you a champion until you've been beat. Because even losers keep going when they're winning. When you feel lost, you breathe life into its potentiality. The hidden inside us is the most dangerous, but when you invite it to the surface and face it, then it becomes a weapon that thrusts you to greatness. Those who seek high achievement must become detectives of the mind. Success requires investigating the darkest corners of one's own thinking for any held beliefs that might rob one of greatness. Personal transformation requires constant examination of the mental programming and belief systems that have been accepted from the world. We must closely question, scrutinize, and disassemble each and every thought, making sure that our thinking will give birth to the type of life that we desire. When you discover yourself, you don't just find you find God. My flesh seeks applause, but the fire in me says I don't need it. My God won't fit in the box you keep trying to put him in. The dream too big to bloom in the house that you live in. My love for you is real, but I can't have a conversation down there. My heart burns, but it's hard for your soul to understand what I'm saying. Nothing can stop me. Average people have love affairs with excuses. But dangerous is the man that understands the only enemy is the one that he sees in the mirror. Champions own their dreams, and they hold themselves accountable to their actions. They would rather die than live within the limits of mediocrity. Warriors understand that to be average is to not live at all. Therefore, they choose discipline and commit themselves to doing day in and day out what it takes to achieve greatness. Champions put an inner standard in place that makes them unstoppable. They get up every single day and dominate. These are the game changers that won't settle for second place. Anything second to them makes them sick. When a champion sets foot in the ring, you can smell the hunger. When a warrior sets foot on the field, you can feel the presence of greatness. When the young king steps foot on the court, You can see the fire and ambition in his eyes. His dedication and devotion to his craft introduces him before he ever says a word. You can feel and sense the presence of a warrior who's got greatness on his mind. What you are seeing is the birth of a legend. Defeat cannot take root in a mind that starves it of oxygen. Champions cultivate an inner soil that is infertile to losing. Dangerous is the man who understands his only enemy is the one he sees in the mirror. Blessed and unstoppable. Dangerous is the one who fell in love with the grind, who married the process, who's addicted to sweat, who has an inner standard of greatness that won't allow him to be anything other than the best version of himself. Dangerous is the man whose mouth is allergic to excuses. Dangerous is the one who can see the dream clear in his mind and refuses to let go of it, who gets up every single day and pursues that dream with reckless abandonment. The warrior only knows one word, and that word is victory. Champion gets up every day and executes. He focuses on the small things, cause he knows if he masters the small things, the big things will eventually come bow to him. Dangerous is the man who refuses to quit. Although he gets knocked down, he refuses to give up. The overcome will not tap out. Defeat, losing is not an option. They refuse to concede to any other outcome than victory. Repetition, practice, training is all he lives for. His appetite relentless, his spirit restless, his mind fearless, his approach boldness, his style ruthless, his legacy chasing greatness. Dangerous is the man that understands his only enemy is the one that he sees in the mirror. No more excuses. I'm on the other side of this speaker, but even from here I can see your struggle. I can feel your pain. I know what you're going through, man. Everybody done gave up on you. Everybody's done written you off. All the smart money in Vegas betting against you, that you can't get up off the mat, that you will never overcome this. You've been loyal, you kept it real. Anytime anybody needed you, you were there. Now you going through the struggle, you going through the trial, you going through the tribulation, and you look up and you say, where is everybody? I know you feel alone, I know you feel bitter, I know you mad at the world, but the question is, how are you going to respond? I am wounded, but I am not broken. I am by myself, but I am not alone. When I am weak, I know my God is strong, and I will not quit until I prove them all wrong. Yes, the struggle is real, and no, life hasn't turned out the way you thought it would. Even when you worked hard and put the time in and did the right things, still things didn't turn out the way you wanted them. That one you thought was a soulmate was just an illusion. That job promotion really wasn't a promotion, it was a jail sentence. I'm just keeping it real. That family that you thought was family never really acted like family, and those friends that you thought had your back are your biggest enemies. Now here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna give you 24 hours to mourn, to cry it all out, a pout day. So you do what you need to do for the next 24 hours to get all that stuff out. And then I want you to answer this question. How are you going to respond? I am wounded, but I am not broken. Now one day down the road, you're gonna have to forgive these people that hurt you. Forgive, but never forget how this feels. So when you overcome, when you come up out of this, when you get back on top, and you start wanting to get complacent, when you start wanting to take off days and start making shortcuts, remember how you feel right now. Go back into this moment so that you never lose what you're about to come back and see. See, before this situation, you were good. But to be great, to be unstoppable, to be invincible, you need to go through this. You need to learn the lessons in this moment. Seize this moment and capture every ounce of knowledge, wisdom, and power that resides in this situation. And what the devil meant for harm, God will make good. You couldn't see me, and you couldn't see my dream. Opportunity has a mindset required to see it, and you couldn't see it. Now I've been around long enough to know the haters are gonna hate, no matter what you do. So the way I see it, if they gon' hate, I'm gonna make them go all in on that jealousy. Ain't gonna be no halfway hating. See, what separates me from you is I ain't afraid to be alone. I'm afraid of being surrounded by mediocre people who want me to be just like them. I didn't expect nobody else to put me on. I knew if I wanted to be on, I was gonna have to put myself on. So I adopted that David spirit that says God lives in me. And then I said to the world, who dare come against the name of the Lord? That warrior in you. That warrior in you knows me. There's a difference between talking about the struggle and actually being born from it. I accepted this a long time ago. I'm just different. And I gotta get comfortable being different. I'm not like everybody else. That 9 to 5 is not enough for me. I got global dreams, massive ambitions with kingdom intentions. Classes in session. The first lesson in chemistry is to survive the night. The second, don't expect morning to come. If you're from the struggle, then you understand what I'm saying right now. What others call trauma, I call home. What others call pain, I call foreplay. Sometimes in life, you just gotta want it. How bad do you want it? You gotta want it so much that nothing can stand in your way. Nothing can be denied the one that won't be denied. You don't scare me. I ain't scared. You don't know what it's like to wrestle with a head full of ghosts. I didn't find my faith in some Sunday school pew. The ones that have the hardest time doing this are the ones that have weak whys. Now you can only go as far in life as your why will carry you. Champions have self-awareness. They know why they want what they want, and that why carries them to the promised land. The why is the birthplace of all champions. She is the mother to all legends and all the greats in every field. The more deeply you are connected to the thing you're trying to accomplish, the more likely you are to achieve it. Natural talent and ability, that's all good, but it won't carry a quitter. So you gotta find a why that makes you invincible, that you can run through walls with it. Get up! He who has a why to live for can bear almost any how. And I'm not ignoring what you're going through. You wanna feel safe more than you wanna be great. Sometimes you gotta pack it all up, put it in the U-Haul, and move 1,200 miles. Move away from everything you know, everybody you know, and go all in on that dream. Before you are qualified to be the greatest version of you, you gotta be willing to kill that mediocre one off. If good is good enough for you, please right-click and turn me off. I don't need any more complacent people around me. I don't need any more good. I'm looking for great. If you want to be great, then turn me off. I ain't worried about COVID or Omicron infecting me. I'm more worried about your doubt getting on me. Average is the plague. I ain't apologizing because you can't see the dream. I ain't apologizing because you can't see me for who I am. That's your downfall. That disqualifies you. It speaks volume about you. It was you that brought that lie, that success was supposed to look a certain way. Not me, but if that was true, then why don't you got success? Why ain't you on the next level? Why you still doing that 9 to 5? Get 1 week off a year. I speak for the lost. I speak for the ones who come from nothing. I am the voice in the flame. I represent the misfits, the recovering addicts, the outcasts, the ones the world gave up on, the ex-cons. I speak for you. There's a difference than talking about the struggle and being born from it. This is what it looks like. And there's a difference between telling people about the cross and actually empowering them with it. Some people don't understand all this aggression that I bring on these motivational messages. Some people don't understand why I get so loud. That's because y'all ain't from the struggle. You weren't born from the struggle. Because if you were, you wouldn't be asking that. We talk like this because every day we at war. Nothing to lose. I discovered everything. And there, I dance with lightning. We were dreamers once. I said we were dreamers once. Before we had wings, before we knew the sky, before we learned how to soar. Let us swallow the light age, rewrite her history, move beyond the fabric of limitation, until our minds can dance with lightning. We were dreamers once. Our world is the art of our thinking, and when truth is held with the pain of thought, the canvas changes. The first step to going to the next level is to stop mentally living at this level. Your thinking must rise before the rest of you does. Success doesn't have a GPS to find you. Common people think they can do nothing, make no sacrifices, and success will just come fall in their lap. But success must be courted, pursued, and sought after every single day. You'll never get control of your life begging for something that you haven't earned. Others won't buy from you what you don't own. Most people don't get that. They copy and imitate successful people, but most successful people got that way by refusing to be anybody but themselves. Learn from the greats, but at the end of the day, be yourself. Cause what God put in you is enough. The thoughts in the womb of our mind long to be born. Any consistent thought held long enough will eventually find a way to manifest itself into physical form. We were dreamers once. I said we were dreamers once. Before we got our wings, before we knew the sky, before we learned how to soar, we were dreamers once. In order to remember who we are, we must first forget ourselves. With nothing to lose, I discovered everything. And there, I danced with lightning. Wisdom is to harness the power of the mind. It is the physical birth of an unseen spiritual desire. The wise man knows how to mobilize his thinking in such a way that it serves his and the world's best interests. With intentional thoughts, he persistently projects his vision onto the voids of life. On his behalf, the laws of the mind spring forth into actions that activate the science of circumstance, and eventually they will produce the outcomes that manifest the sought-after reality. The wise man is fully aware and awakened to his own creative potential. He knows that every one of his ambitions comes with an equivalent magnetism to attract it. Therefore, he imagines the good that could be until it is. We were dreamers once. I said we were dreamers once. Words without awareness are impotent. Saying positive affirmations without acknowledging the equivalent identity that go with them will only produce nothingness. You must know who you are, the power you have, and the authority that you've been given before you send your words out into the universe. You must know who you are. Then, and only then, will they manifest your desired outcome. I am the source. Greater is He that is in me than he that is in the world. God lives in me. Therefore I am whole, and I bring that wholeness into every situation. It is written, we destroy arguments and every lofty opinion raised against the knowledge of God, and take every thought captive to obey Christ. True vision has nothing to do with imagining anything. It has to do with seeing past the illusions to the point of only acknowledging the truth. Where you place your mind in the midst of struggle will determine your outcome. With nothing to lose, I discovered everything. And there, I danced with lightning. We were dreamers once. I said we were dreamers once. As a snake must shed his skin to live, we must shed our religious dogmas to walk in the true power of God. For our gospel came not unto you in word only, but also in power. But the hour is coming, and now here, when true worshipers will worship the Father in spirit and truth. For the Father is seeking such people to worship Him. God is spirit, and those who worship must worship in spirit and truth. And He said to them, to you has been given the secret of the kingdom of God. But for those outside, everything is in parables. We were dreamers once. I said we were dreamers once. Real revolutions are not ushered in by the voting box. They're not ushered in by rioting and war. They are ushered in with the power of the mind. Greatness is self-awareness in action. Success is the art of flight. Your mind, the wings. Every thought has an altitude. It is time to soar. In this life, one shall struggle, and that struggle shall lead the individual down the path to discovery. The struggle isn't something that we should run from, but rather something we should embrace with both arms. Trials and tribulations are but mere loyal, loving friends that give to us the gift of all gifts, self-awareness. And during these dark, difficult times, we will discover who we truly are. Personal transformation requires a constant examination of the mental programming and belief systems that have been accepted from the world. We must closely question, scrutinize, and dissemble each and every thought, making sure that our thinking will give birth to the type of life that we desire. We were dreamers once.